Hi, I'm Juan Espinoza, and I'm the Director of Admissions here at Virginia Tech. I'm really sorry we weren't able to host you for a campus visit, but I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about Virginia Tech today. Now, first off, congratulations. You all are the most competitive class that we have ever had on record. Typically, we offer about 70% of our applicants. This year, we ended up offering closer to 50%. So again, congratulations, your hard work has paid off. Now you might be having the question, why Virginia Tech? I'm really excited to answer that question because I am an alumnus and graduate of Virginia Tech, and I had a fantastic time when I was a student here. And I still remember some key things. First, I remember how beautiful our campus was and how welcoming everyone was. But there are also some other key things that I recognized. First was the research mission. It's important for you to realize that we're a top 50 research institution. Last year alone, we had over $500 million of research taking place. Now, it's important to realize as well, though, that many colleges, many universities, they're either going to be teaching institutions or research institutions. For teaching institutions, the main priority for professors in that setting is to do just that, teach. For research institutions, the main priority is not only to teach, but also to be conducting research. So it's very common on the first day of class that the professor will talk about the research he or she is working on. And at the end of that explanation, they'll look at the class and ask, does anyone have any interest in what I just presented? If you're interested, hang out after class and I'll get you involved. And it's as easy as that on day one to get a research opportunity. Now, I still remember my first class here at Virginia Tech, Intro to Biology, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, that's early as a college student. Now, I do remember a few firsts in that classroom setting. First, the textbook on my lap was written by the professor teaching that class. Second thing I noticed was how passionate that professor was on the research as well as teaching the class that material. Now, my Intro to Biology professor was an expert in the area of Antarctica. In fact, for that first day of class, he showed a slideshow of his most recent trip down to Antarctica that year. And as you can expect, in his slideshow, there are a lot of pictures of ice and snow. But the very last picture he showed the class was him surrounded by a group of about 14 individuals. And he looked at the class that day and asked, who do you think these people are? Eventually someone yelled out, they're young, they're students. And he responded, yes, they are students, but it's important for you to realize these aren't master students, these aren't graduate students, these aren't juniors or seniors in biology. The students you see in this picture with me in Antarctica are students that I select for my Intro to Biology class to travel down to Antarctica with me each year. This blew my mind away there on my very first college class experience at Virginia Tech was an opportunity to go to Antarctica. Now, I don't like the cold, so I didn't volunteer for that. But a few of my classmates did, and they had a life-changing experience. The second thing I recognized about Virginia Tech was the community. It was a focus on service. Now, our motto here at Virginia Tech is Ut Prosim, which is Latin for that I may serve. Now, I get it. Most colleges, most universities, they have slogans or mottos that in many cases the professors and students have no idea what they mean. Not the case here at Virginia Tech. Everyone knows what Ut Prosim means, and everyone's trying to live up to that mission of service. We've had students that come together here in Blacksburg to be part of what's called a big event, where they give back to the local community. We had over 7,000 students volunteer to do that this past year. But we also have students that travel the world living up to that motto of Ut Prosim. We've had students that have traveled down to Bolivia to create clean water sources through wells. And we've had students who travel down to Haiti to create bridges for local villages. That mission is important to us. And we're constantly trying to find ways to give back. The third area I recognized was the school spirit. Wow, the school spirit here is truly unmatched. I've had the opportunity to go to dozens of college campuses, not only here in the US, but across the world. And that is what makes Virginia Tech so special, is that school spirit. Now, realize that when you're looking at Virginia Tech, you're looking to join a Hokie nation, a group of over 250,000 alums scattered not only here in the country, but all over the world. Now, prior to this role, I served overseeing international recruitment efforts on behalf of Virginia Tech. I had the really cool job of being able to travel on behalf of Virginia Tech to over 80 different countries. And can you believe no matter where I was, no matter how remote that country was, I always came across either a current student or graduate of Virginia Tech. How was I able to point them out? You got it. They were wearing our colors, maroon and orange. They were wearing it with pride no matter when they had graduated. So again, realize that this network, this Hokie Nation, it's truly global. And no matter where you are always going to have a friendly face nearby rooting for your success. I thank you again for joining us today, and I apologize that we were not able to host you, but we're really excited about your next chapter. And although things look tough, I promise you, your brightest days are ahead of you. And we're really excited to be part of that chapter. Thank you, and go Hokies!